Copy 724, roger. Set and maintain 2000.
Set and maintain 2000, 74.
Cessna 504, set and maintain 3000.
Over, clear for takeoff.
On tonight's episode, Drake makes fun of the Iranians, Blue discusses television, and I correct Atari.
Approach only 4 right.
Revving up your engine, listen to the hound and roar. Better like attention, begging you to touch and go. Highway to the Georgia soul. I'll take you right into the danger zone.
Welcome to Afterburn, the only show that requires very little effort to make. I'm Hammy, and I'm joined by my co-host Drake and his mustache, and our special guest tonight, Blue.
Hi, how are you?
Welcome to this episode of Afterburn. First of all, I want to say, Atari, I never thought California was a small state. I asked you once how far apart the cities were, but I'm well aware it takes up almost the entire West Coast.
He totally thought California was that small.
Yes, because, my father isn't from California or anything like that. I can't look at a globe and see how tall California is.
I thought your dad was from Wisconsin.
Well, he was born in Indiana, but he grew up in California.
So he's from Indiana.
No, he left there when he was like 5 or something.
Right. Anyway, so recently Iran started making these interesting, they weren't really threats, they were just saying that they wanted to start doing naval operations near the U.S. Territorial waters. And pretty much everybody had the exact same reaction, which was, who cares? Because, first off, if they go into international waters, we don't care. And if they actually did try and come up and harass our Navy, their Navy isn't that big or that good. They have a couple of old destroyers that they bought from us and the English, and they built a couple of their own. They have, 6 submarines that they bought from the Russians. And the biggest thing they have are, like I said, those destroyers. So those are their capital ships. They have 4 capital ships that are destroyers. We have, 11 super carriers that are our capital ships, plus a few boomers. So I don't know what it is that they think they're doing. I don't know what it is that they think that they're going to accomplish by saber rattling at our Navy. I mean,
it's like that little kid who tries to act like a tough guy in front of the big people, and the big guys end up just shoving him into the mud. Pretty
much. I mean, I can't figure out what it is that they are doing. Maybe they're trying to pull a mouse that roared. Maybe they're going to, come in and invade the American homeland and then declare a war and then surrender 5 minutes later and demand foreign aid,
kind of public.
Oh, man. Okay, so I'm just not hearing the story about how they're coming over here. But like you said, they're trying to be big and bad against a group that's not afraid to retaliate back. Which, to me, that's pretty hilarious. Just like, it's just like the story, the little engine that could.
Except this one can't.
You can't get up. You just can't. Like, you can try hard as you want to. He's not getting up that hill.
What's the deal with the Iranian Navy anyway? How long have they had one?
They've actually had one for a while. Iran, they're one of those countries, they're almost sort of like Argentina in that way, where it's
Really?
like they have some military power, and for the region, they have a pretty good military power, but compared to anybody else, they're just small fries.
Well, why don't we do what they did? Why don't we do what the Brits did to Argentina? Or why don't we just unleash the British? Let them have fun. I know they're really proud of their Royal Navy.
Right. So the Iranians, like I said, they have a decent navy for the region, but you're talking about going up against our country that spends 3 times more than the next 2 superpowers combined on our entire military, and I think our 6th fleet is the size of their entire navy. So, I mean, I'm not sure what it is they're even trying to even conceive of thinking about going against us.
What I find funny is they're desert people.
What you call them? The little desert people from Star Wars?
But picture the sand people on Tatooine in Star Wars trying to bring a navy. Granted, they live on the coast and whatever, but still, I mean, their entire lifestyle, civilization, economy, all that's based out in the desert. These guys are not going to have the water knowledge of the Brits or the U.S. or even the Russians.
Well, the Iranians, it's not that much of it. Well, it is a desert, but there's there's some nicer parts of Iran that are not desert. And
There's some nicer parts of Iraq, but I can tell you that place is one big cat litter box.
Well, see, Iran, compared to a lot of the other countries, I actually feel really sorry for the Iranians because they used to be a decent country.
So was Iraq.
Well, Iraq used to be a decent country, but Iran used to be an even more of a decent country. And then they decided to have a little bizarre revolution, and then it wasn't anymore.
Iraq decided to do nothing wrong at all, and Saddam Hussein came into power. That was the end of Iraq. But I see what you're saying. I see your point there. But I just don't see. I couldn't picture. To me, the image is really funny, seeing all these desert people. I just picture them on horseback with their scimitar swords and their man dresses on a ship out in the water. You know?
Really? Why would you even think that? Really?
Well, I mean, think about the way all the Middle Easterners look and stuff. To me, it just paints a funny picture.
Well, I don't know. Like I said, the Iranians. I've just seen more about the Iranians than I guess you have. But the Iranians, like I said, they used to be a sort of advanced civilized country, and to an extent, in the urban areas, they are still kind of an advanced civilized country. It's just that because of their ridiculous government, they've gone completely insane. So, enough about Aqua Velva Man over there in Iran. Let's see what Blue has to talk about.
How you guys doing? My name is Blue, and I will be talking about the television industry. I will start off as a very famous series on AMC. Now, let me let you guys know, I never watched AMC a time in my life until they start playing the series called The Walking Dead. So,
Yay, Walking Dead.
So basically, it's a series of zombie apocalypse. And I was kind of iffy about it, like, oh my god, it's going to be terrible. But, I gave the first episode a try, and I ended up falling in love with it. I know you guys watched the first season, so, give me your thoughts on that.
Well, I thought the pilot episode was actually a little slow. But as the show went on, the show picked up. It was really good character study, and I liked how it took them a while to realize that, oh my god, this is an apocalypse. And they finally started acting like it was a survival situation. But, no, it's really interesting, really cool how they did it. And oh, by the way, tanks don't have a hatch on the bottom there, like in that pilot episode. But
All tanks have an escape hatch on the bottom. This is a known television fact. They said it on TV, it must be true. You can totally get into an Abrams that way.
Oh yeah, I bet, I'm sure. Never mind the fact that I've been under an Abrams for shade out in the middle of the desert in California, and there's no hatch. I'm obviously wrong here because the one I was under can't be real.
Well, we know that since you were in the military, you're not allowed to talk about the hatch because it's classified.
Oh yeah, I mean there is a hatch, or not a hatch under the Abrams. I mean because the hatch or the non-existent hatch is.
Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
Yeah, there's no hatch. Wink, wink.
Well, on a further note about this series, it's pretty intense. It's gory, very gory. I've never seen a most goring series in my life. I watched Spartacus, and it was if you've seen this before, Gladiator, Russell Crowe gets angry. But when I watched The Walking Dead, there's an episode where they had to take the zombie corpse and they had to coat themselves in the zombie infected blood.
Oh god, I hated that.
That was a good episode.
I mean, it was cool how they did it. They covered themselves in the zombie internal organs to mask their smell to not attract attention. But I didn't need to watch this zombie corpse get chopped up with an axe. I think the gore's a little overboard on the show.
Well, you mentioned Spartacus there, and whenever anybody says, "Oh, I was watching Spartacus," I always picture the original Spartacus from the '60s.
Spartacus, a motion picture unequaled in the entire history of filmmaking, unlikely ever to be surpassed in the magnitude of production, in the fervor and passion of its conflict, in the tenderness and beauty of its love story.
And then I further picture the critic.
I love you, Spartacus.
So it's like, let's get ready to rock and roll!
He starts bouncing down the road on the cross and crucified on.
Spartacus, we rigged the chariot of the centurion.
Then let's rock and roll!
Nobody gets away from Centurion Buford C. Augustus!
I love you, Spartacus.
I love you, Spartacus.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
But on a further note, which has me thinking, season 2 will be coming out in October, and maybe in the middle of it, which I'm really hoping for. And also, on further note, if this actually happened, where's the first place you would go?
Not to a police station.
Not to a police station.
Not to a police station, not to a hospital, not to a military base. The first place I would probably go, the only military installation I would think of to go of is around here there's a National Guard armory. I might go there.
Try to raid the armory for weapons.
Pretty much.
I may follow you on that one because from MGC, the College of All, whatever, I did make a tad story on my Facebook about the infected. What if I was still on campus? How would I get back, and regroup? But now I know that there's an armory. Thanks, Drake. I will follow these guys for ammo, lock and load. Let's play House of the Dead.
Yeah, but pretty much yes. If the zombie apocalypse happens, or the nuclear apocalypse happens, or if any of the random apocalypses happen, do not go to a hospital. Do not go to the police station. Do not go to a military base. Find your National Guard armory and find a secluded spot in the woods about 100 miles from nowhere, and don't talk to anybody for about a month.
I mean, it's very obvious clues because how stupid do you have to be just to go to a hospital in place? I mean, you see movies, you play games, Resident Evil, going to a hospital or any place dark or any place around dead stuff in general. My first example has to be a cemetery. When I was watching the Resident Evil, the second movie, Apocalypse, they went to a cemetery, and I was like, you idiot.
Now, see, I thought that was a really stupid plot point because the virus is airborne, and these corpses are in airtight caskets 6 feet below the ground. How did they reanimate?
You got a point about that.
That was just something they did as a tribute to the old classic zombie movies, but I still thought it was really stupid.
Well, you never go to a hospital, obviously, because where are they going to take all the sick people? Where are they going to take all the infected people? Or if you get into the nuclear apocalypse stuff, where are all of your nasty predators going to be? They're going to be at the hospital.
Those people just become panicky people with guns now.
Yeah. Now, why don't you go to the police station?
That reason.
Because the police, when all civil order breaks down, what are the police? The police are men with guns. And if they think you're infected, they are men with guns who think you're infected. So you might want to stay away from the police. Same reason why you stay away from the army, the military in general, because if they have orders to kill all the infected and they think you might be infected, guess what? You are in trouble. So you might want to talk to the National Guard because they'll be panicky too, but you might be able to trade with them or something because they're the National Guard.
Weekend warriors.
And then otherwise you just stay the hell away from everybody for about a month, and then you start looking for people.
And that's your helpful survival tips from Drake.
Which also another helpful note. If it happened, what would be your ultimate survival food?
Canned food, MREs, things like that.
Survival food, same thing. Kind of some decent canned soup that'll last for a while. It'll only last a year or two, but still. Other than that, MREs and those little, what do you call them, little calorie bricks that. Oh
yeah, the flavorless bars that are just loaded with calories, fats, vitamins, things like that.
Yeah, they're awful little things, but they're a good thing to have around to supplement, whatever meager food that you can or can't find.
I remember when my dad was in the army. He gave me my first ration. Well, was I surprised?
Was it a C-Rat or was it a...
It was still like the cans with the keys and stuff?
I think it was the cans with the keys.
Oh, God. That's like cat food.
C-rations.
I was sitting here smelling it. It had a very unique smell. I was like, okay, so it probably smells bad, but it tastes good. So I just got a fork and I got me a little mouthful and try not to throw it up in front of my dad because if I spit it out in front of my dad, he was gonna call me weak.
Well, see, our discussion on The Walking Dead is not trying to make up for our discussion on My Little Pony last episode.
Zombie Pony. So here we go.
Where we're not trying to get our man point back or anything like that.
So I'll be looking forward to this Walking Dead Season 2. I hope you will too. And one more note. Zombie killing games. Please pick up Dead Island.
My friend got Dead Island and said it was terrible.
What?
I'm just saying.
I'm
quoting.
Yeah, a friend of mine got Dead Island, and I don't know what he said about the actual game, but he was really pissed because he got the PC version when it first came out.
Oh.
And for whatever reason, it was bugged to death, and no one knew why. And like it didn't work for anybody. It just froze and glitched and did all sorts of horrible things. And the console versions were fine. But the PC, actually the box PC version, the disc version, was fine. But the Steam version that you just download was bugged to death, and nobody even knows why they released it.
Oh my god.
Now other good zombie games. I had a lot of fun with Left 4 Dead 2.
Oh my god. Yeah, we're
Do not get Blue started on the Left 4 Dead video games.
I just love spray tagging things on the wall that are just horrible, bizarre pornography.
I'm going to go ahead and change the subject real quick because I don't want these guys getting off on that. Movies that are coming out that I want to see: Red Tails, the George Lucas movie on the Tuskegee Airmen.
Yes.
Battleship, a movie featuring Liam Neeson. I don't know where they went with the sci-fi element in this movie, but to base a movie off a board game from Battleship, I mean, come on. And what's the other one? Heavy Metal Extreme or the Rock'em Sock'em Robots movie?
Oh, Red Steel. Yeah.
Real Steel. Yeah, that looks great too. I can't wait to try that.
I was about to say they're remaking Heavy Metal. Oh no, we'll have to deal with the green ball again.
God, if you've ever seen Heavy Metal, great. If you haven't, don't.
Here, let me show you about this time that somebody killed me. Oh wait, I guess the movie's over now.
The movie makes absolutely no sense. It's terrible animation.
Well, some of the animation's pretty good. Some of it's pretty terrible. It's done by like 7 different animators, so it's got John Candy in it though.
About the Battleship movie, Hammy showed me the trailer, and I was kind of stoked about it because I was like, how you gonna make a board game into a movie? So when I watched it, it had me going in first. It looked like a love story thing. It's like,
maybe love story game. Yeah.
Yeah, like, we're gonna press the general just to get his daughter and stuff. So Admiral. But they found this artifact out in the sea, and one of the soldiers, they touch it, and it turns into this Battle of LA robotic alien thing. I was like, what is going on? We're gonna remake another Battle of LA or something like that. But no. So there's this big dome that makes around the whole battleships, Navy, SEAL, just this whole platoon's ready to shoot, and they just have boundaries just like the board game. But something still doesn't get me. When you played Battleship when you were young or so, and you never encountered alien race in this game. It was just playing out, ship against ship.
So they put a sci-fi twist on it.
I did have Star Wars Battleship when I was a kid.
Electronic galactic battle with 20 authentic ships. The Force in galactic battles. Batteries not included.
See, that's awesome.
I did too.
See, that's awesome.
And that was fun because it made noises at you.
Yeah, you could sit there and it's like you're playing as the Empire and you won, you heard the Emperor laughing. And, if you're playing as the Rebels and you won, you hear like the whole fruity, happy-go-pukey parades and stuff.
Now, when you played the Star Wars electronic battleship, did it make a funny little music noise at you from time to time that was sort of like just like this doop 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 doop?
Yeah, if you waited too long between going, yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, I think that was just a reminder of, hey, it's your turn.
But still, no on the movie. I'm going to watch it, whether it's good or not.
Red Tails. Tuskegee Airmen movie.
Red Tails. I never knew anything about planes until I met Sir Hammy, and he taught me about some of the basic planes and stuff. When I showed to his apartment, there was planes, and there's planes all around, and he's telling me all about this. And I wasn't interested in planes until he kind of showed me all of this, and now I'm interested. And I'm like, whoa.
Well, I discussed the Tuskegee Airmen to you, which, being an African American yourself, I knew you kind of liked the idea.
Yeah.
But, I think this is George Lucas's attempt at chasing Best Director, because to my knowledge, he never got it, did he?
I don't think he's ever specifically gotten it.
Yeah, I mean, he's got Best Film and stuff like that, but I don't think he's ever got the Best Director award. That's what I think he's going for with this, is making an attempt or making a pass at that the Academy Award.
Probably because this movie's already been made 6 times.
Yeah, quite a bit. Or maybe the man just likes flying and wanted to make a flying movie that involves spaceships. Or little chariots with jet engines on the front of them.
Well, knowing George Lucas, that's what this movie will include towards the end.
Oh,
I just now made the connection. Oh my god, I hope he doesn't pull a Star Wars Episode 1 of this movie.
Oh, don't say that.
The Germans suddenly come up with pod racers. It's the Hemi.
Padres to McFuhr!
We have the ME-263. It's one better than the 262, and it has pod racer engines on it.
For our listeners and Blue here, the ME-262 was the first production jet fighter in history, and it was a German invention. It was known as the Swallow.
And it caught on fire a lot.
Caught on fire a lot because the metallurgy back then was terrible.
It was actually, you have to give them credit, it was really a clever airplane. It's just
very good airplane.
It just caught fire a lot.
The metallurgy was terrible. They didn't have the metallurgy in the 30s and 40s like they do now.
Well, they had the metallurgy for the plane, they just didn't have the metallurgy for the engine.
Again, my point stands.
Yeah.
Honestly, can you imagine, like, the first time flying a plane, and everything's all good, then fire.
Well, that's why they had these things they called parachutes.
We have these other things called trainers.
Which, on another note.
Good news!
What?
The new season of My Little Pony has just been released.
I'm gonna have to get you like a Brony uniform or something. I mean, I know you already got the T-shirt, but I mean, God, you're like a Nazi pony over there. Moving on. So apparently McDonald's new Monopoly game is back, which is funny because I said new Monopoly game and it's back, but point still stands.
How is that news or relevant or stop advertising McDonald's, goddammit?
Well, I'm just really excited because I'm actually playing this time around. I've got like 2 of everything, which I'm going to be chasing an illustrious 3rd piece till the competition expires, but...
And you won't get it.
Probably not. But Blue and I got a little thing going on. We share, and we share the prize.
Exactly. Which means when we both get it, I'm just going to tail off with it. And wish Hammy for the luck with his life. Wow.
You're gonna tear off of the pieces that I gave you.
Why would I do that? Did I? Oh, wait.
Am I gonna hurt you again? Am I gonna have to hurt you again?
Why you have to hurt me?
Is Wayne Brady gonna have to choke a bitch?
Yeah, Hammy gonna choke a bitch, huh?
So anyway, firearms. What's your best and worst?
We're talking about pistols or what?
Pistols and maybe some rifles.
Okay, well, pistols. Best, the Colt M1911A1. It was the first of its kind, and it is just an all-around beautiful pistol from everything to how it operates, how it comes together, and how it fires.
The Colt M1911 is a good gun. If I was going to go with a pistol, it would definitely be the M1911. In fact, I own an M1911A1. Mine's made by Springfield, though, and I think they've done a pretty good job with it. Well, actually, it's not made by Springfield. It's made by Imbel. But Imbel's done a pretty good job with it, so I'm happy.
Lance, best pistol.
Best pistol, I'd like to say the Colt. There's a reason for that, because when I run out of ammo, I'm off Moss, I switch straight to the Colt. 2 shots, 100 points, just like that.
Okay. Are we moving on to rifles now?
Yeah, rifles. Well, actually, do you have a worst pistol?
Oh, worst pistol. That's an easy one. The Beretta M9. It was the military grade pistol, and the best thing I could say about it is it comes apart real easy for cleaning. It's real easy to take care of. But it's sloppy in the feeling in the hand. It's got a phony weight distribution. The balance isn't right on it. And it just doesn't feel like a real weapon when you're holding it. I mean, and it's 9mm. So I have to say I really don't like the M9.
Yeah, the one that actually gets my ire is not the M9, because I've shot an M9. M9s they're okay if you're not going to throw them in some mud. But my worst pistol has got to be a snub-nose 38. I hate snub-nose 38s with a passion because they are awful, awful, awful little things. And you can't hold them correctly because they don't have a real handle. They just have a nub. You can't, do anything with. You can't hit anything with it. You could aim at the broadside of a barn and then hit the man behind you. That's how bad these things are. And I don't really understand why people own them other than that they're small and simple. And if you're going to buy a revolver, buy a good revolver. Buy a police 38, not a freaking snub-nose.
Lou, worst pistol.
Worst pistol ever. What should I call it? Which one was the worst pistol I ever used in my entire life? It has to be... I'm going to go with yours, Hammy, the Beretta. Because...
Why is that?
Why is that? Okay, so as I'm walking, I'm just running through the field, and I picked, okay, what should my class be? So I said, I'm going to try the Beretta out. So when I go to shoot it, I'm aiming right at the guy. I shoot him 3 times, and he doesn't die. He takes me down.
Okay,
So
what?
he killed you?
Yes.
And
What?
we're here. Are you a ghost?
No.
I'm a little confused here, Lou. What are you talking about?
Call of Duty, come on!
What?
Wow.
You do realize that we're talking about real firearms here.
I mean, I fired a real firearm behind the screen of my TV, my Xbox.
You mean you never fired a gun before?
I mean, I fired a real gun, but it's been so long.
What did that look like? What was it?
I really don't know.
Did it look like this?
Oh yeah, it was that one. I still remember. I'm traumatized from that sound from the 1911.
What's there to be traumatized about? Let me see that, Drake. This is your Springfield 1911 right here, correct?
Yes.
This is the sound that makes you feel like an American.
Yeah, it makes you feel like American, but it makes you feel like un-American when you're running from the bullets.
Listen to this. Come on, that's just sexy.
I'm gonna say that was sexy. It's sexy when it's not aiming at you.
You can't run from the 1911's bullets.
Well, you know what the best part of the 1911 is? Well, not the best part, but one of the cool features of the 1911 is once you run out of ammo with it, you can turn it around and use it as a club because it's so heavy.
Oh.
What was that Boris the Blade said on Snatch? Heavy. Heavy is good, because if it doesn't work, you can always just throw it down. Okay, well, what's your favorite rifle, Drake?
My favorite rifle is probably the G3 assault rifle series. And of those, I'd say the PTR 91.
Now, you're talking from real experience, not Call of Duty, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Because the G3 is in Call of Duty.
Is it?
Yes. It's in, I don't know if it's in one of the Modern Warfare games. I don't remember which one.
I know the FNFAL is. I don't remember if the G3 is. Oh, actually, I think the G3 is in one of them. Anyway, I just like the G3. It's nifty. It's like an MP5 for Big Brother.
Well, yeah, when you look down the sights of it, it looks like an MP5.
Well, if you look at it from the side, it looks like an MP5. It's just bigger.
Well, I know, I mean, it's elongated, but if you look at it from behind to front, it looks like an MP5. But I'd have to say...
Well, they both run on the same, roller delayed blowback thing. So.
Oh, yeah. My weapon of choice, rifle of choice, would have to be the M4. If for no other reason than I know it, I'm familiar with it, and it has a bunch of stuff on it that make the weapon, quote, cool. And some things are actually useful, and some things just add weight. But I really do like the M4. It's just an all-around nifty gun.
I'm sure someone out there liked the Shoshette, too, but, that's just...
Well, the difference between an M4 and a Shoshette is that the M4 actually worked.
It did?
Quite a bit. I never had a problem with mine. For your information, Blue, the Shoshette was a machine gun they came up with in World War I. It was terrible and never worked. And Arlie Ermey on his TV show Lock and Load had a brand new one, and it didn't work.
Okay, so the name of the gun is Show Shit?
Shoshette.
Show Shit.
Basically, it's French, so you can call it that.
Okay, so no wonder it's a piece of crap because it shoots like shit then.
Yeah, I mean, it's French, like the Airbus.
No shit.
No shit.
Who is firing us? Oh no, fire a sheet! But I am tired.
Okay, having that. But then firing missiles! Blue, being a little lost here, is currently on his smartphone looking up weapons. And of course he would be on a Call of Duty website doing that.
I have some advice for you. Look up a rifle called the Springfield M1903.
Springfield M1903?
We don't have enough time for that. Anyway, while he does that, I'm going to move on to the next subject here that we want to talk about. Airplanes versus helicopters. We haven't touched that in a long time.
Well, clearly, airplanes are better.
Why?
Because with a helicopter, your wings are moving faster than the fuselage, and it is therefore unsafe.
Yeah, we've heard it a million times. New material.
And it's just so ugly that the Earth sort of
repels it away. I mean, yes, it's a bunch of loose parts flying in close formation, right?
No. And the worst thing about a helicopter is that it has a Jesus bolt.
Jesus bolt.
The Jesus bolt is that bolt that if it fails, get ready to meet Jesus.
It's a bolt when everything comes together on the rotor hub. And if that were to come loose, your blades go flying off, parts go flying off. Everything.
Wow.
They call it the Jesus bolt.
Wow.
There's usually not just one.
So, yeah. The flying airplanes is nowhere near as challenging as flying helicopters.
That's why it's better. You get to sit back, relax, read your paper, have a drink.
I'm dual rated. I fly both. So, I have the best of both worlds. I just thought that, being well-rounded on the subject would be a little bit better, not having a strict biased opinion from the fixed-wing fairies of the flight school.
Well, see, the reason why airplanes are much better than helicopters is because when you fly an airplane, like I said, you get to sit back, you get to enjoy the scenery. Whereas when you're flying a helicopter, You get to fly for about 10 minutes, terrified, and then you get to become part of the scenery.
Hey, don't get me wrong. Fixed wing will always be my passion. I just thought, keep an open mind on things and not just be stricken of aviation biased.
I'm not biased.
You don't like me because I'm bi-aviational.
Aviation.
You rotorphobe.
I don't like you because you drive Japanese cars.
Yeah, but the difference between my Japanese car and your American one is mine will drive forever, yours won't.
Actually, mine will keep going forever because mine is unique.
Why is your Dodge unique?
Because my Dodge is the only Dodge that has as many miles on it as it does.
Which means it's bound to fail at any minute.
No, that means it will continue to go forever because no other Dodge has made it that far.
No, I mean, it's going to fall apart eventually. It may hold the record, but it will fall apart.
Well, your car is going to fall apart eventually.
My car is a Mazda. It's a 2011 Mazda, and it's a badass Mazda.
So what's going to happen is in about 10,000 miles, something bad on it's going to explode.
I've got 90,000 miles on my car already.
And then... Yeah, exactly.
Oh, no, I'm sorry. I apologize. Not 90,000, 19,000. No, not 90.
Oh, wow, 19,000 miles.
I'm times two what you said I have.
So anyway, you're going to get down the road a ways, and then something on it's going to explode, and at which point I will laugh at you. But you're going to take it to the shop, and because it's a Mazda, the replacement parts...
real easy. Here, let me...
Finished. Oh, yeah, it'll be easy to fix, but the replacement part will cost you roughly 6 times as much as the car cost you in the first place.
Right.
So, essentially, you've bought a Ferrari. Completely pointless, will break, and then you'll have to pay a lot to fix it.
My car's a hatchback. It gets over 30 miles to the gallon. It's going to be a great family car. It's fun to drive. And you're wrong about the price of the parts because we had that 91 Mazda Protege we had forever until I wrecked it.
See, I've just discovered something. I've just figured something out, and you have just lost about 1 million man points because you came up with 2 points in your little car argument here. One of them is that your car is one of the features you picked out for it as a single man was it'll make a good family car.
So I don't have to get rid of it like my dad did his vet.
We're going to have to send out a search party.
Why?
To look for your nuts. And then you bring up the Protege? Wow.
My Mazda Protege was a damn good car. I don't care what you say. And as far as my car being a hatchback, a family car, I hate to break it to you, but it's a fun car that looks good, and it's, like I said, fun to drive. And unlike my dad's Corvette and my mom's Triumph, I'm not going to have to get rid of it when they get married.
That Mazda does not look good.
That's because you have no taste. You don't like the P51.
No. It does not look good. And you know why it doesn't look good?
Why?
Because it's a hatchback. All hatchbacks look awful.
Most hatchbacks do look awful. I'm not a big hatchback fan, but the 3 Series, the Mazda 3s, look good. I hate most hatchbacks.
They look good for a hatchback, but that's sort of like saying that Hillary Clinton looks good for a politician. I mean, it's like, wow, what scale are you working on here? And it's the wrong one.
It's like saying the smartest Irish person, Drake.
What? That doesn't even make sense.
It made sense in my head.
You have failed.
To steal a line from Top Gear UK, on that bombshell, we're going to go ahead and have to start wrapping this up. We're going to take you live to our producer, Atari, who is currently still in California. Get the hell back here.
Thanks, guys. Today's Final Approach segment comes from a little story I recorded while I was driving down the freeway here in LA. Take a listen.
So here's something that annoys me. Okay, so this morning I'm going to work. I'm driving down the 91, and I need to get over into the left lane to pass somebody. All right, so this jabroni comes up. He's on my 7 o'clock. That's my left side. Coming up on my left side, I've got my left turn signal on. So he's coming up. He's going for the block. He's blocking me by the quarter panel, and won't let me through. And I'm sitting there and I'm waiting. I'm like, what the hell? And I'm speeding up. I'm slowing down. I'm trying to get around this guy, and he just keeps reacting. He's blocking me. He's blocking me from the left lane. So then, as you know, I'm coming down the 91, and suddenly he jumps up ahead of me, slams the gas, jumps ahead of me, narrowly misses as he cuts me off, and lane bombs it to the exit. And it's like, really? You put that much effort into being a complete dick? I mean, that's just uncalled for and unnecessary. You know, I mean, it's like he was going for the worst driver in LA award. And it's all because he just wanted to, I don't know what his problem was. So he blocks me and then lane bombs and cuts me off. He's about to start a freaking accident, man.
And that, my friends, is my final approach.
Thanks for joining us on this episode of Afterburn, and special thanks to our guest, Blue.
Thanks for having me.
Be sure to like us on Facebook and like us in person because we like that.
Once upon a time there were ponies, and all the ponies died.
And tonight's episode brought to you by Captain Drake's Personal Stash. Don't drink too much of it, it'll kill you.
And also brought to you by Wait, somebody screwed up on this.
And Drake's Apocalypse Survival Guide. Buy this book if you want to live.